I think there is a coal comeback, said the 33-year-old son of a miner. Despite broad consensus about coal's bleak future, a years-long effort to diversify the economy of this hard-hit region away from mining is stumbling, with Obama-era jobs retraining classes undersubscribed and future programs at risk under President Donald Trump's proposed 2018 budget. Trump has promised to revive coal by rolling back environmental regulations and move to repeal Obama-era curbs on carbon emissions from power plants. I have a lot of faith in President Trump, Sylvester said. Although there have been small gains in coal output and hiring this year, driven by foreign demand, production levels remain near lows hit in 1978. A White House official did not respond to requests for comment on coal policy and retraining for coal workers. What many experts call false hopes for a coal resurgence have mired economic development efforts here in a catch-22. Coal miners are resisting retraining without ready jobs from new industries, but new companies are unlikely to move here without a trained workforce. This stalled diversification push leaves some of the nation's poorest areas with no clear path to prosperity. But in southern Pennsylvania, where the industry still has ample reserves and is showing flickers of life, federal jobs retraining programs see sign-up rates below 20%, the officials and recruiters said. In southern Virginia's coal country, participation rates run about 50%, they said. Part of our problem is we still have coal, said Robbie Matesic, executive director of Greene County's Economic Development Department. In Pennsylvania, Corsa Coal opened a mine in Somerset in June which will create about 70 jobs, one of the first mines to open here in years. And Consol Energy recently expanded its Bailey mine complex in Greene County. But Consol also announced in January that it plans to sell its coal holdings to focus on natural gas. And it has commissioned a recruitment agency, GMS Mines and Repair, to find contract laborers for its coal expansion who will be paid about $13 an hour, half the hourly wage of a starting unionized coal worker. The program Sylvester signed up for was set up by GMS. The new hiring in Pennsylvania is related mainly to an uptick in foreign demand for metallurgical coal, used in producing steel, rather than domestic demand for thermal coal from power plants, the industry's main business. Some market analysts describe the foreign demand as a temporary blip driven by production problems in the coal hub of Australia. Officials for U.S. coal companies operating in the region, including Consol and Corsa, declined requests for comment. The coal industry has stabilized, but it's not going to come back, said Blair Zimmerman, a 40-year veteran of the mines who is now the commissioner for Greene County, one of Pennsylvania's oldest coal regions. We need to look at the future. Empty seats. The Pennsylvania Department of Labor has received about $2 million since 2015 from the Federal Power Program, an initiative of former President Barack Obama to help retrain workers in coal-dependent areas. But the state is having trouble putting even that modest amount of money to good use. I can't even get them to show up for free food I set up in the office, said Dave Sirock, an ex-miner who recruits in Fayette County for Southwest Training Services. Greene County Commissioner Zimmerman said he'd like to see a big company like Amazon or Toyota come to southwestern Pennsylvania to build a distribution or manufacturing plant that could employ thousands. But he knows first the region needs a ready workforce. Signs of life for Sean Moody and his brother Steve spent the last 2 years working in the natural gas industry, but see coal as a good bet in the current political climate. I am optimistic that you can make a good career out of coal for the next 50 years, said Sean Moody. Coal jobs are preferable to those in natural gas, they said, because the mines are close to home, while pipeline work requires travel. Like Sylvester, the Moody brothers are taking mining courses offered by Consol's recruiter, GMS. Bob Levo, who runs a GMS training program, offered a measure of realism. The point of the training is to provide low-cost and potentially short-term labor to a struggling industry, he said. That's a major part of the reason that coal mines have been able to survive, he said. They rely on us to provide labor at lower cost. Clemmy Allen, 63, a veteran miner and head of the United Mine Workers of America's Career Centers, said miners are taking a big risk in holding out for a coal recovery. He's placing his hopes for the region's future on retraining. UMWA's 64-acre campus in Prosperity, Pennsylvania, which once trained coal miners, will use nearly $3 million in federal and state grants to retrofit classrooms to teach cybersecurity, truck driving and mechanical engineering. Unlike when I worked in the mines, he said, if you get laid off now, you are pretty much laid off.